Internet kind of slow, so I can't really see nobody yet. What's going on? We're gonna wait till we get about 100 people back in. We're gonna talk for a second. I'll tell you guys some shit I've been. Hold on. Some shit I've been going through. So, whenever we get 100 people, I'm gonna start talking. In a minute, in the meantime, get the likes up. We got 29 people watching, 37 people watching. We need at least 50 likes. We in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ooh. Anonymous is in this motherfucker. I didn't think he'd show up this late. Y'all, that water, I drank some water out the faucet. This shit got my skin breaking out a little bit. Shout out my dude, the first super chat from Chase Holiday. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for being a super chatter so soon. Now, before we start actually talking, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm in love with Sao Paulo already because they have nice cigar lounges here. 10 cigar lounges within 15 minutes of where I'm at. And they have more than just fucking Cubans. They have Nicaraguans, Dominicans, Cubans, Brazilian cigars. I won't be able to open up the panel because I'm going live on my phone. I'm not on StreamYard right now. Now, is it Sao Paulo or Sao Paulo? Sao Paulo. Now, first of all, you guys know I love you. And I want to apologize for not going live yesterday and today. I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, I've been going through a lot of shit and I don't know what it is. God has been talking to me through my dreams. Big time. So much of a big deal that when I was transporting myself here to Sao Paulo, I embarrassed my shit. I mean, the shit out. Sorry, I've been drinking a little bit. I only had 2 caipirinhas, but you guys know 2 caipirinhas is basically 6 shots in Brazil. They put basically 90% alcohol and just a little bit of whatever you ask for the flavor. And that was like 2 hours ago. Now, to start from the beginning, I went to Paraguay 4 times this year. I got stamped in when I came back from the United States. I went to São for a little bit, then I went to Ciudad. I don't know how the hell you say it. Ciudad. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can go across the Brazilian border and see if I get jammed up at the border. And I did it. I walked across the border, stamped me out of Paraguay, stamped me in Brazil, went live for my birthday. People didn't believe me. I have better shit to do than to lie to you guys about being in Brazil. I have way better shit to do, like interviews. So I walked over. You in Paraguay, you can just walk over the border without stamping out or stamping in. As long as you don't leave Ciudad del Este or Foz do Iguaçu, right? You can do that. You can go in between those two cities. If you get caught outside of those cities, it's a wrap. You probably gonna get deported. So I went across the border and I stamped out of Paraguay, stamped to Brazil, walked back over, spent the night, did an interview, spent the night. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me stamp out of Brazil. So I walked back over the border. It's not an easy walk either. Stamped out of Brazil. Came back to Paraguay to get stamped in. Where is it? There's a sheet of paper somewhere in there. And they said, oh, we can't let you back into Paraguay. They gave me this sheet of paper saying that I needed to go back to Brazil. I needed to walk back over the border and catch a car and go further into the city of Foz do Iguaçu and get a visa from Brazil to come back to Paraguay because I went to Paraguay too many times this year, which is bullshit. It's not true. Paraguay gives Americans a multi-entry visa. You can stay up to 180 days per year. I have not been in Paraguay nowhere near even 90 days this year. If I did, it was near 90 days, but it damn sure wasn't 180. So I asked him, could I go back to Asuncion, get my stuff, and I'm gonna go back over to Paraguay, to Brazil. So I bought a bus. You guys, we got 146 people in the chat. We only got 15 likes, guys. We need to get the likes up to 75 or I'm just gonna be silent. We're gonna take a music break. Anonymous is 90 days per time. 90 days per visit, max. But you can do up to 180 days per year. So I went over back into Asuncion to get my bags. You guys saw me pack my bags. I packed my bags. I was in Paraguay 5-6 hours. Got back on the bus. Went back to Ciudad del Este, 4 hours. Now keep in mind, I tried to buy a plane ticket from Foz do Iguaçu to Sao Paulo with 3 different debit cards and a different credit card on 3 different websites. My car wouldn't go through in either one of them. I called one of my homeboys and he said, I'm not trying to get too spiritual, but something might be blocking you. It might be something you need to see. Right? Now, I was having extremely bad nightmares the past 2-3 weeks. Like when I first got back to Paraguay, I think my second night there, I had this dream. And I was in the color purple house. I think it was something similar to that. But I was standing on the side of the house and I could see this first and the second floor. And I could hear a little girl being raped. And I was with another woman I knew from Kenya. And I was like, what should we do? What should we do? How do I stop it? Should we call the police or should I go up there? That was an odd dream for me to have, right? So I get on, this is 3-4 weeks ago. I get on my bus and I go back to Falls, right? And hey, Michael Harris, what the fuck are you talking about? So I go back to Falls, 4 hours. I'm there for about 5 hours waiting. I had to buy a bus ticket to go back. I had to buy a bus ticket from Falls, which is basically Paraguay because it's on the border, all the way to Sao Paulo. So I went all the way to the south of Brazil, not too far south, but I went southern, and then we went all the way to Sao Paulo. The bus ride was 18 hours long. 18 hours long. Yeah, Anonymous said, yeah, you haven't been right since Texas, I can tell. I'm telling you, that shit fucked me up. I said graped. That's what I said. But I'm not into that whole say grape instead of rape shit. Um, anyway. "18 hours long, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys like this: the south of Brazil is nothing like the rest of Brazil. All those people look like straight Europeans, and the Portuguese that they spoke was very, very Spanish-like. In the way it was so proper and just so firm, the way how they spoke it, I was like, damn. The people that was getting on the bus, they were all white, like no mix, no mestiza, nothing, just regular white. See, like, I ain't worried about none of that bullshit. So, rode the bus, and on the way back to Sao Paulo, I fell asleep around 2 a.m. And Will knows because he's in my private group chat. And I had like this sleep paralysis nightmare. The guy, it was a fat Brazilian guy, white guy. He pretty much looked Italian or German, like Anonymous is saying. And when I went to sleep, he came over me with this melted face and grabbed me, and I was getting up. And keep in mind, I'm on the bus, right? So I'm on the bus trying to fight somebody that's not on top of me. Like I'm doing like this, trying to get him up off me, trying to use all my strength. And I'm looking around the bus and everybody was looking at me. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I went back to sleep. I had another nightmare again. I can't even remember the second one. I should have recorded it. I should have recorded what I saw at the moment. But everybody on the bus was talking to me. I woke up again. I had a third nightmare. And I was like, yo, like, what is going on? I went to Texas. I came back. I'm having dreams of, 4 or 5-year-old girls getting assaulted sexually. And I'm having nightmares on the bus. I can't buy my plane ticket. I can't step back into Paraguay. What is the universe trying to tell me? It's trying to tell me something. It's trying to tell me something. And no, it's not the cigars. Because I was smoking like a motherfucker in the United States, and I didn't have one nightmare. But when I got back to Paris, it's like, it's telling me something. And I think what the dream, I was putting this in my group chat. I think what the dream was trying to tell me was like, I'm holding on to something and it's stronger than me and I'm not letting it go. I think that's why the guy was grabbing me and I couldn't get him off of me. I got back to Sao Paulo over here. I booked my Airbnb 2 days in advance. I booked my Airbnb 2 days in advance. But here's the thing, my mom had told me she was having the same nightmares. So I'm like, It's something that a spirit is trying to tell me, or maybe a evil spirit is leaving me. I don't know. I don't think I have evil spirits though. Don't start that bullshit. Uh, I got back to Sao Paulo at 7:45 a.m. and I went to my Airbnb. I had already told my Airbnb, "Hey, I'm arriving at 7:45." They said you could check in at after 9 o'clock. I said, "Okay, cool." I went to a restaurant. I was like, "I'm gonna get something to eat for breakfast." And the restaurant was down the street from the Airbnb, like a 5 minute walk. Not even 5 minutes, probably 2 minutes. So I walked to the Airbnb. I stood outside that motherfucker from like 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Airbnb host is responding like every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes they're responding. No, I'm not smoking a cigar inside the window. I'm smoking out the window. This place, I just had the maintenance because I couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. The maintenance just came in here. He didn't even say nothing. So, um, they're responding like every 30 minutes. And I'm like, yo, like, what is up with all this shit happening back to back? What is all this shit happening back to back? You know? And I canceled the Airbnb because they weren't responding. I said, hey, if you don't respond in 10 minutes, I'm gonna cancel. They did it. They read my message but didn't respond. So I canceled. Airbnb gave me a credit. I said, okay, I'm gonna put that credit towards a different Airbnb. I go to book my second Airbnb, and Airbnb, the app or my account, has a bug where I cannot even use my credit to get another Airbnb. So I'm in a hotel now because I had to. I couldn't book an Airbnb, cash or the credit. Nothing was working. The same way how four of my cards would not work for a plane ticket, right? And I booked this hotel. It's a lot of bad women in Sao Paulo. A lot of bad women. A lot of bad women in Sao Paulo. Let me just say that. I'm staying outside my house. She's like, give me like 30 minutes, the hotel room be ready. And I'm on the phone with Wesna and Gavin and Jason, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get outside. I gotta hit the gym. I gotta hit the gym. I gotta get some of this action that's walking around right here. And I come up here, take a shower. Airbnb still not working. So I hit the gym. I walked around. Let me tell you something. Sao Paulo, the whole yeah, 3 dreams is a lot. It's a lot. It was that's why, one dream, if I would have had that one dream, I was sleep paralysis. But 3 times in a row in 1 hour, that's different. So I called the women. I mean, I no. I went to the gym. I talked to I met some beautiful chicks at the gym too. But I tell you, Sao Paulo does not have the same vibe like Salvador and Rio. Like if you go to Salvador and Rio, the chicks are like hella choosy, smiling and stuff, and you be like, you don't even have the cold approach because there's so many chicks just looking at you. So in Sao Paulo, that's not the case. Like you're gonna have to code approach here. Like for me, at least for me, they're not choosy. Like I can get them if I approach them, but they're not choosy like the rest of like Recife and Salvador and Rio. It's just not happening. Not the same way how it was in those cities. Yeah, thank you for saying cigars don't carry spirits. And Later, what time was that? Maybe around 6 or 7 o'clock. I was able to use my credit to book the Airbnb. I wanted to book it for at least 2 weeks. I was only able to book it for 7 days. The bug has only allowed me to book it for 7 days. So I told the Airbnb host, like, hey, I have the rest of the money. I want to book it for at least another week or two. She said she's going to try to see if the next guy can cancel so I could do that. And so tomorrow I'm going to move into my new Airbnb. But I had to pay $50, which is nothing. But, you know, it's nothing, but when you've already paid for an Airbnb, it's something. If I've already paid for somewhere to stay, you know, what the hell am I paying for a hotel for? So I was kind of fucked up about that because I've already paid for somewhere to stay, but I'm having to pay again. And besides that, that's some like weird shit that's been happening. I've been having nightmares like crazy since I left Texas. Like I've never had since I left the United States, I've not had one nightmare. But when I came back from Texas this time, I've been having nightmares, and it hasn't been about women. I'm telling you, that place has bad energy for me. For me, that shit has like a negative energy that shit carries. I think that's why it's happened. Or maybe something else is going on. So he said nightmares crash out soon. Bitch, I ain't crashing out in no time. I am out and about. I was out and about today. I went and bought 80 gigabytes worth of data, so you guys might see an IRL stream. But so far so good in Sao Paulo. I met up with Redbeard Rance, the guy I did a interview with. We did some. I see your chat, Anonymous. We did a photo shoot. That dude, okay, he's selling a dating course. I'm gonna tell you guys firsthand. Whatever the hell he's selling y'all is legit. We took some photos by the pool, like some shirtless photos for Tinder and Instagram. We put on some suits and took some photos in the lobby at this really nice apartment complex that had a really nice lobby. And he's got his shit down to a science. I'm telling you, whatever he's selling you, he's not a liar. He's got his shit down to a science. So if you guys have not seen it, he's got it down to a science. So be on the lookout. I'll post some of those photos that we took. And I'm gonna start working on my VA because he was showing me some receipts, and I was like, "Oh, where you meet her at Instagram?" My VA met her for me. I'm like, "Damn, I need to do that." So, um, so far, no Brazilians have had no problems with me. Nobody's worried about that shit. Now, with Sao Paulo, my city, I don't think so. But I'll have to update in a week and see how I feel after then. But I don't think this is like Salvador and Rio is my type of city. But Sao Paulo is a very big city, and it's just not, you know. Good and bad dreams come from your Sao Paulo, from your subconscious mind. Yeah. If you go cold turkey from drinking heavy, you will have dreams and shit. I wasn't drinking heavy. I've never drank heavy. Like even when I was drinking every day, I was having 2 drinks a day. That's not heavy drinking. This is not from substance abuse or nothing like that. It's just something else in my mind. Because for my mom to say she's having nightmares the same time as I am, that means something different. It has nothing to do with fucking alcohol. Anyway, Sao Paulo is a major city that you're gonna have to learn to move around in. I can see getting dates here would be a lot harder just because it's 20 million people almost here. So the competition is a lot steeper. So anonymous, that's one thing I thought about. I'm on antibiotics right now. I'm on amoxicillin. So immediately when I started hallucinating and shit, because I was even when I woke up in the dream, I was still hallucinating. Like I was hallucinating maybe 2 minutes after I had woke up, to the point where the guy sitting next to me on the other side of the bus was looking at me like this, like what the fuck is he doing? Like he could tell I was tripping. So, um, I'm hoping it's the amoxicillin. I hope it's not nothing else, you know. But I don't know. He said that's what's fucking you up, amoxicillin and alcohol. I wasn't drinking amoxicillin and alcohol. And somebody said antibiotics. There you go. I've been on antibiotics my entire life. I've probably been on antibiotics maybe 40 times. As long as I can remember. This shit ain't never happened to me. But let's hope that's what it is. Yeah. I don't think amoxicillin is. I think, man, the types of dreams I was having with it was telling me something. Again, at the same time, usually I book a flight. My homeboy told me something spiritual is going on while four of your debit cards and credit cards aren't working to book a flight. No, anonymous, I don't stay with a sinus infection. I don't. Only time I have a sinus infection is when I'm in Texas because the allergies are super bad there, or when I was in Asia because the air quality is super bad there. But when I was in Africa, no. Europe, no. Latin America, no. I had the sinus infection whenever I was in Texas. It hasn't went away completely yet. That shit is from alcohol withdrawal and not sleeping. I've been sleeping 7 hours every night. You motherfuckers think you know what's going on. That's not it. I'm not dumb. So, um, I don't know what that is, but it's very, very odd. So maybe it is stress, you know, that I had when I was in the United States. I don't know. But when I'm awake, I don't have any stress. I feel just fine. But I haven't felt any stress at all. But when I went to sleep, I had those nightmares, and I couldn't shake off of them. I couldn't. Or God wants your attention. I'm telling you, I think that's really what it is. I really think that's what it is. I think God is trying to tell me something, and I can't put my finger on it. Eventually, you do. When God is trying to tell you something, eventually you do figure it out. I mean, unfortunately, it takes a long time to figure that out. So I don't know, man. But that shit was kind of so we're gonna stay in Sao Paulo. My Cife is gonna come see me, and we're gonna go to one other city in Brazil, and then we're. But he said it could be spirit staying in the Airbnb. I thought about that too because I was in Paraguay, and that was 2 weeks before I didn't even think I was coming to Brazil. I didn't think about going to Brazil until I went to Ciudad del Este, and I was like, "Oh, the border is like a 5 minute drive from here. Let me just try." I don't think it was to do with Brazil. That was long before I even decided to go to Brazil. God is warning you. Definitely, that's what those signs are with your cards. But with the dreams, it's seriously it's like some kind of spiritual. I'm telling you, it felt like he said, "Since when does God cause fear? Live a little longer. Live a little longer, and you'll figure it out." But yeah, my mom was telling me to buy sage and shit like that, and that usually always works. But I don't know, man. That shit was kind of concerning. But I've been smoking long before you guys got on live, so I gotta pee. Anyway, fuck those spirits. I just want to say this too, and don't say shit about me not washing my hands. I'll do that in a minute. Um, this is all happening around the same time. Was I the only black guy on the bus? This is all happening around the same time. Whenever I'm deciding to switch up my format, not to do interviews. I'm no longer bashing. Well, I haven't really been doing that in a while, but I'm not bashing American chicks and that. I'm and whatever it is doesn't want to leave. So that's why I'm feeling like this. Is your self awareness kicking in? You're protected. That's what I'm saying. I think it has something to do with how I'm changing. My content is changing up. My focus is changing up. And something that's inside of my mind does not want me to change up. How often do I pray? I never pray. Pray over my food. Or I could just say Americans are evil And when I went around you motherfuckers, I might have picked up an evil spirit from one of y'all. But we not gonna claim it. Do I still see a therapist? I have 2 therapy sessions that I paid for that I haven't been to. I just haven't felt the need of it. Also, you guys, they got some really nice cigars here. Let me show you the one I bought today. This is a Brazilian Daniman Santo Antonio, 1872. I guess it's not really a Connecticut shade, but it's a little darker than Connecticut. But it's a Churchill, obviously. Whatever that shit was in my mind, it really took control over my mind for the few minutes that it did. The chicks here in Sao Paulo kind of have a little bit of American energy. They don't really see, and Fred told me that when I first came out here in 2023. They don't really want to be talked to like that, you know? You speak to them, they ignore you. Not as bad as the States. Not as bad. You just notice it a little more. Jason was telling me that too. It's just a little different. It's not like Salvador Rio and Recife. It's just not. But I'm gonna stay here because I like the city. I like the amount of stuff to do in the city. I like that there's 20 million people almost in the city. You know, it's a great city for sure. Tonight I'm gonna go to sleep, so whenever I get up, I can just check into my new Airbnb. The new Airbnb is about to be super, super dope. Arthur Will already seen it. Super dope. It looks like the poison ivy scene from Batman. Literally, no bullshit. You guys will see whenever I move in and I do my interview. I'll show you. It looks like a poison ivy scene out of Batman. That's the best way I can describe it. But I was thinking about staying here till July, the end of July, and then going to Europe from there. But I will have a place here. I could see Sao Paulo being another home base, and it'd be a convenient home base because you can fly around the world and you can fly around Brazil from Sao Paulo. Like you can fly to any country in South America, North America, Europe, and even Asia. You can fly direct. This fucking internet here, shit, man. And the new Poison Ivy hotel that I have is very fast internet. But we're at a hotel, so they're expected to have shitty Wi-Fi. But the new place that I'm having is gonna have very, very fast Wi-Fi. They even had it in the Airbnb description. That was one of their talking points. But guys, the Airbnb and this Wi-Fi here is not sustainable enough for that. So I did not want to put a very laggy Wi-Fi. Need to go to. But I've been blowing money the past couple days to get out here to Brazil. Like I bought a bus ticket, missed the bus. I know I booked it from the bus. Thought I was on the right bus. Me in, I had to buy a hotel. Boy, I've been going through it, man. I've been just blowing. But it's all right. I'll be all right. Move closer over there. Now, with Chim, Tim, Chim, 80 gigabytes, but then they shut my internet off hours later. And don't talk shit about Brazil's internet. They have really fast internet. I'm at a hotel, so the internet is bullshit. All hotels around the world, for the most part, have bullshit internet. I don't give a fuck if you stay at a Marriott. I don't give a damn where you stay. Even Nomad Capitalist was talking about that in one of his videos where he was saying that the internet in these hotels can barely even load a fucking YouTube video. But tomorrow, I will be around better Wi-Fi. Better Wi-Fi tomorrow. This is part of being in a hotel. Why don't you have a SIM chip with data? I just said that. I just said I do. I just said I do. I bought 80 gigabytes and the internet was fast. It just shut off. The same problem I had when I was living in Salvador. I would buy 30 gigabytes. Those gigabytes would be gone in 30 minutes. No bullshit. If you come to Brazil, keep your US thing. Put a one in the chat. The Wi-Fi is good now. I had to move closer to the fucking extender in the hallway. You know, wash my hair. Man, I mean, I fucked off 4 or 5 hours just standing around outside trying to find a place to stay. It's bullshit. The hospitality in Sao Paulo is not the best. Being here, I know my Portuguese is way better than my Spanish. I'm visiting Sao Paulo because the last time I was in Brazil, I was in Sao Paulo one day. My older brother showed me the video of when my mom was talking to me. My older brother showed the video when my mom was calling me like Dusty and shit. I have not went back and watched. I remember it, but I have not went back and watched that shit. And I was like, damn, that shit sounded bad. That shit sounded bad. Like I had not watched that video. Why are y'all saying I'm tripping for using mouthwash? Y'all niggas don't use mouthwash? It sounded really bad. Like I'm listening to like the whole "you dusty, you a loser" like your dad. I'm like, my dad is not a fucking loser. What the fuck are you talking about? Neither am I. What the fuck? I am not a goddamn. I'm doing shit that motherfuckers wish they could do. I'm not. I am the furthest from a loser. But that's the sign language: shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. That's exact. I mean, Kevin Samuels couldn't have said that shit no better. Yeah, my dad was not a fucking loser. I don't know where that shit came from. Yeah, man. It is what it is. I'm not even over there no more, but I'm just saying, I just was listening to that shit. He was playing it in the background. I was like, damn. Like, I remember being there, but I don't remember that shit sounding like that. I don't remember that shit sounding like that. I had an electric toothbrush before, but my two front teeth are fake. Like 75% of each tooth is fake. So if I use an electric toothbrush, it like pushes them in a little bit, makes them feel uncomfortable as hell. That's why I don't use it. Otherwise, I would. My audience did what, Anonymous? You need to put your name down. I'm finna quit calling you Anonymous. Yeah, it was very terrible. And like we can say like she was drunk, but man, I've been drunk many, many, many times. And there's like certain shit that I just don't say. Like certain shit holds a meaning whether if you're drunk or not. Look at these beautiful. Look at that. Would you look at that? Mwah. Yeah, man. But it is what it is, man. I don't know where them nightmares are coming from. I'll update you guys on what they meant. I ain't figured it out yet. You guys can decide. And they got the black girls in Sao Paulo too. Looking good too. Yes! But I'm gonna work with Red Beard Rants to work on my online game. I'm gonna work on because it's just you can't really lose, man. You really can't lose, man. You really can't lose with the if your online game is on point. I think that's a dude. Got another black chick. Whew. If your online game is on point, you don't have to do shit. You know, if you got the new world is the internet, man. Like you guys know I like walking around the mall, walking down the street and shit and just finding where the good looking chicks are at and approaching them. But with me interviewing people 3 to 5 hours a day now, I ain't got time because after I shut the interview off, I gotta cut that. I gotta edit that. I gotta make a thumbnail. I gotta upload that. I ain't got time to always, it's fun to do that, but I ain't got time to always be out and about approaching. I ain't got time to do. Look at that. It's Brazil, man. You know, people say when you get back to Sao Paulo, don't make an announcement. Listen, man, I'm in Sao Paulo, bottom line. I'm in Brazil. I ain't hiding this shit from nobody. This is where I'm at. Am I gonna be doing the same type of content? No. But I'm in Brazil. Bottom fucking line. I'll for sure be in Brazil at least another 30 days. For sure. I'm still going to Europe for sure, but I'm gonna be in Brazil at least another 30 days. But if my mind changes, you guys will be the first to know. You guys will be the first to know. Did you get kicked out of Brazil or Colombia? I didn't get kicked out of nowhere. Obviously. I damn sure didn't get kicked out of Colombia. I didn't get in no trouble in Colombia where I got kicked out. Now, if you would have said about Brazil, it would make sense, but still legally, I was never kicked out. I was never deported. I was never notified. None of that shit. Now, do I look at Brazil the same way I did when I was here the first time? No, I've been to many places now. They still number one, if you ask me. They still number one. You got some feminists saying they contacting the police. Okay, for what? Bro, that shit ain't gonna work on me this time. It's not gonna work on me this time. There's a lot of Asian people here in Sao Paulo too. A lot. I've seen more beautiful Asian chicks too. Better than the ones I saw in Asia. Beautiful. Now, if I go to Sao Luis, I'm not gonna see that. Yeah, if Red Bear Ranch is charging $350 a month for his system, I'm telling you, with my own, just from what he showed me, that he didn't even show me everything today. Just from the knowledge that he has today, I'm telling you, it's on point. I'm fucking telling you. Wait until I get my photos. Wait until I get my results. He told me he's gonna help me autopilot my online shit. Wait. I've been to the Liberdade neighborhood in Sao Paulo. I went there the first night I got to Sao Paulo in 2023. I will say, like Jason said, the chicks in Sao Paulo are older. Like more of them look like this. They look like they're still beautiful. They just look older. Like they're not like the other countries I was in where they're like 28 and under. These chicks are like 28 and over, which is fine. You guys know I have no problems with the 35 and up. But I'm just saying. That's what ginger. They got the ginger heads. Brazil is just Brazil. You can't beat Brazil. You got amazing culture, amazing music, which is part of the culture, amazing women, which is part of the culture, amazing people, which is part of the culture, and amazing crime, which is part of the culture. They've got some beautiful stuff going on out here in Brazil. And it's so diverse. Sao Luis is different than Manaus. Manaus is different than Rio. Rio is different than all of them. Salvador is different than all of them. Rio Grande do Sul is different than all of them. Porto Alegre is different than all of them. Florianopolis, everything is different. He said the women love leg day too. Yeah. Who is Bella Feminista? Yeah, no, ain't nobody. We ain't gonna start that bullshit this time. That shit ain't gonna work this time. That's not gonna work this time. I done seen too much, been through too much. That shit ain't gonna work this time. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I ain't apologizing for shit. I ain't did nothing wrong. I promise you, I ain't apologizing for shit. I ain't did nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with me calling women beautiful in Brazil. Get the hell out of here with that shit. From what my understanding, that Stephanie Ribeiro girl lives in Rome. And even if she did live in Sao Paulo, I ain't did nothing wrong. Ain't nothing to apologize about, none of that. I should have never apologized the first time. I was just listening to somebody else that told me to do that shit. Okay, she live in Sao Paulo, that's fine. Not my problem. I don't give a damn. Not my problem. I ain't did nothing wrong. Apparently. I ain't never did nothing wrong. Could I have worded some things differently? Yeah. I ain't never did nothing wrong though. So no, won't be apologizing for nothing. I ain't did shit. Swear to God, I'm not apologizing. For what? Beautiful, beautiful black chicks. Beautiful black chicks. Ugh, just beautiful. But Sao Paulo is good. It's a good city. I don't know if it'll be my city like Salvador, but it's a great city. I would still say you guys need to come here. It's a lot of people that are about their business out here. It's known for that. It's the financial hub of South America, from my understanding. It's so much financial opportunity. It's such a hub. Everybody from all over Brazil is in Sao Paulo. It's a great place. But we're gonna do. Oh, they're just beautiful. Brazilian women are number one. I'm telling you, worldwide they're number one. I've been saying this since I first came here. Went to 21 countries, still number one. But they are older in Sao Paulo, yes. But you guys, it is 3:34. I appreciate the couple super chats we got. I just wanted to tap in with you guys. I just wanted to tap in with you guys. Let you guys know that I was doing all right. Ain't nothing wrong out here in Sao Paulo. Compared to Kenyan women, Kenyan women are like my number two. But it's just for me, for my personality. Brazilian women are number one for my personality. So it comes down to a personality thing. Some people, Kenya might be their number one, but no, they ain't got the now in Brazil. They ain't got the elite box. No, they don't. At least not from what I done had. The elite box was in Kenya. But yeah, you guys, I love you guys. I'm gonna get off of here. I was just tapping in with you guys, let you guys know I was all right. Let you guys know about the horrible, horrible nightmares I've been having. And I will see you guys on the interview tomorrow. And I will see you guys next time.